18 people on. Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened. I got stressed out though. Ooh-wee. I'm back. Never fear. Luna's here. Yeah, I hope I didn't get. I think what happened could have been of what I said when I was like, I gotta write it. Don't say it again. Yeah, I know. I was like, oops, Instagram. I didn't mean that. That's not me. I hope I didn't get all. I didn't get a strike, man. They're probably gonna put me in timeout. No, I didn't mean to. But Rumble froze too. The whole computer froze. But we're also talking about some touchy stuff. So, ooh-wee. Hopefully Rumble family will realize I'm on. They'll come back. Are y'all good? Did you survive the car crash? Is everybody okay? I'm fine, Mom. Just let me fix my hair. Just need to fix my hair. Okay. Should we get back to it? Should we hop to it? Next video. Don't be a follower of any religion. Start it off with a bang.
Do not be a follower of any religion. Christianity, Buddha, Hindu, Islam. Don't follow nothing. Follow Jesus Christ. Because following Jesus Christ, you don't connect yourself to any religion.
That's right.
You just do what he said and everything works. The one thing...
Right, because the meaning of Christian it's not a religion. The literal definition of Christian means to be Christ-like. Jesus got mad when they were trying to worship him. He would smack them away and say don't worship me, worship the Father, not me.
He did more than anything else was wreck churches. A follower of Jesus Christ means that you do what he says. You do not do what any pastor says. You do not do what any religion says, but you find out what Jesus says, and then when you find it out, you'll find out that he's saying the kingdom of God is inside of you. Mm-hmm. You don't need any pastors. You don't need any religions. You don't need any government. The government is inside of you, and that's what Jesus teaches you.
Personal sovereignty. That it is between you and God. What other reason do you have to behave if you don't have a spiritual vein in your body? Why do you be good? Why are atheists not out there just committing all kinds of crimes? Because they won't acknowledge that there's still something, a universal code of morals that just all living things seem to abide by, exists, and that you can only explain that on a spiritual level, on a metaphysical level.
Find the kingdom of God inside yourself. You work with your single eye. By watching and waiting, you allow the glory of the Christ child to be born again within you. It's not for you to be born again. It's for the Christ child to be born again within you. And it's not to follow Christ. It is to follow Jesus.
Because none of us are born a Christian. It's a way of life. It is a way of life. It is choosing to act upon love only. That may mean love can produce a lot of things that look scary at face value. But if you err on the side of love, then you can't really go wrong.
Jesus is the teacher. Christ is the diploma. That's what you get. So you follow Jesus and you become Christ. It's Christ consciousness that you're looking for.
Christ consciousness. Oh, he said it. So that's what it is. The Christ consciousness. I'm telling you, I had a very clear moment when that happened. And then I was reminded of that not long ago after a prayer to Jesus. I stood up and something just somehow appeared in my suitcase that said, I see you. Or what was on the sticker was, it's okay. And I went to pick it up and there was more. And it said to not be okay. And it was what I was talking about to Jesus. And it was just like a direct answer to something. And I was just like, holy shit, whoa, that's right. You are real. But I've had extreme emotional stress. And I had I say an encounter with Jesus. And it was literally there'll be no one can ever convince me that that's not who I saw, who I talked to, nobody could convince me of it. And ever since that day, it's just changed me. It's like he's always there, not in a bad way, in a different way. Like it becomes part of you. And it was within my own meditation during a time of extreme emotional stress. And if the whole world wanted to burn me at the stake for saying that, I would just have to let it happen, because I wouldn't be able to lie about an encounter like that. I couldn't. It was such a blessing and loving moment. I could never lie against it. I would feel like a horrible person if I did. And Jesus did say, don't forsake the gathering of yourselves together. But that's really about eating dinner together, turning the TV off, have your friends over, share amongst the village and talk. Because when you're around the campfire and passing the peace pipe, you talk and you bond. And spiritual matters do come up in those things, because even if it's not a religious conversation, it can still be a spiritual one, because there's signs all day long. Everything is truly spiritual. Everything you do, you just don't realize it. And so when you interact with each other, you are reminded of that fact through life's synchronicities and coincidences amongst each other. And you start to see, if you're good at pattern recognition, that's one of the things that helps bring you to him, is kind of like seeing the matrix clearly and understanding there's no changing that it is a task we're all meant to go through. And, having the presence of Jesus makes shit a whole lot easier. I'll tell you that. And all you have to do is truly learn surrender for real. And, him being tortured and carrying that torture stake that he had to endure, that is very much something you can look at. The Passion of the Christ did such a good job visually of giving you like a realistic look of it. And it really hits you emotionally to see that level of surrender, to know that you're going to die and to do this anyway. I mean, my God, like how many of us would have bitched out? If we're being humble, probably all of us. So it's like someone that never lost hope in humanity being treated vilely as a political prisoner, as a heretic. He hated temples. He hated synagogues because of the places of business they had become. They always historically were, because before there was Israel, there was Babylon and there was Syria, and their capitals were temples to gods. And so everything was conducted there, because everything's spiritual. And so through that came the corruption of using a business in the temple, and usury developing, and then eventual slavery because of usury. And so he came to tell the Jews, like, you guys are getting it all fucking wrong here. You're being oppressive. And, so you can kind of use early history pre the Bible. It actually helps confirm certain things in the Bible, and it helps you weed out what's been molested by the governments of this world to shape a narrative. But for the most part, religion has been infiltrated by the darkness as well, because you will always find darkness wherever there is light, because you can't define one without the other. Shadows are cast. But, darkness has its purpose in exposing light. So, and vice versa. And I think that if you want to mislead someone easily, you would definitely use religion, because you're using someone's faith. And people that are religious and taught to be religious are not necessarily spiritual, and spiritual people are not necessarily religious, but they can be both things, because there is a lot of spirituality and ritualistic religions that get into metaphysics and quantum physics with the power of implication and sound, and goes back to seances and all this stuff. But when you get into religion, you have a set of behaviors that is like if you're not allowed to operate outside of that, or if you are not allowed to have personal autonomy, if you have to go to God with someone between you and God as a authority spiritually, you probably are starting to get hit close into the culty range. And there are very well-known Christian religions that are actually very culty, and it's just that we've been taught to accept it for so long, we just don't even see it anymore. And it's sad that it's gotten to that state. But whatever brings you to Jesus is your own path, and however God chooses to get you there is what's needed to get you there, and it's nobody's place to judge how you get there. And that's exactly what Jesus was trying to say, because if the kingdom of God is within you, then it's a place in your consciousness where you feel good and you experience serenity. And that is something that the other religions that were older than Christianity learned to do too. So Christianity, I believe, is the era for now. It doesn't mean anything pre-Christian was all wrong. It just means that during our current era, Jesus taught us what we needed to do to make it through these tumultuous last days. And so it's his time. He is king, it's his era. His principles is what matters in this era, in this iteration of time. So it's okay to not know the answers to everything and just follow your heart, because that's how you find God. So, Luna rant. Okay. Next video. Y'all, this does not look like Ghislaine Maxwell, apparently.
There is no way this is Ghislaine Maxwell. This is the most recent photo of her released on Monday, February 9th, 2026. When you do a side-by-side comparison, the noses don't match, and either do the eyes. Looks like they've got the body double fitted with a cheap Amazon wig. When have we seen this before? Not only that, but the Friday before this picture was taken, New York Post conveniently got footage of Ghislaine Maxwell walking the yard in prison. And what do you know? They are now handing out umbrellas in jail. To make sure her skin doesn't get damaged, or maybe so we don't see her face. The question now is, did she ever actually go to prison? She may have taken these photos in 2020, but the video from that same day seems to be somebody entirely different.
I've been thinking that's when I had the thought, was that orange jumpsuit shot. Wow, that was hard to say. I was like, something looks off about that lady. I'm like, she either aged really rapidly or gained a lot of weight. I was like, I just knew it wasn't right in the forefront of my mind, but somewhere it felt wrong. Just like those two pictures of the picture of Erika Kirk's kids, they were the wrong ages. And I was like, yikes. That one was a huge slip up. Nobody's talked about it yet. I'm waiting.
Did Ghislaine's appearance completely change in the last 6 years since she's been in prison, or did they swap her out with a bad body double? As always, I want to hear down below.
Not the same person. So, if all these powerful people were taking part in all that shit, they would have had an exit plan for him to give us a show, put on theater, make us believe it so we calm down. But it ain't working this time. Everybody knows something is off, and we aren't going to let you get away with this. We're just not. So here's a photo comparison. I have to skip 2 and go back one. Look. Even the eye set is not the same. The eyelids are not the same. Look at the eyelid. Ghislaine has hooded eyelids. This lady has somewhat, but you can see the bottom. You can see the top lid underneath the hood of her eye. This is not the same person. Look at the nose. The chin isn't pointy. Oh, this is infuriating. Why do they keep fucking with us? They need to stop. They're going to cause such a huge issue. People are not going to be okay with being quiet. All right, CPS kidnapping empire. I've been dying to talk about this. This is a documentary called Never in America, Unmasking CPS's Kidnapping Empire. I've mentioned it a couple times on here. So here's the trailer. It's on Rumble. You can find it right there. Ryan Mata. I don't know how to say his last name. Mata.
Say it's the greatest fear of parents to have their child taken from them. How in the world does it happen by force at the point of a gun?
The man talking is a father-in-law who was a former cop.
We're not going to screw you. Get out of the car.
Hey, you can't use me.
Give me the baby, okay?
This one really made my stomach sink.
I can't even believe this story.
I cried when I watched this. This is the second documentary I've seen. So my nose has been on this since 2020.
Cyrus, the 10-month-old baby who's been kidnapped, stripped from his loving parents by CPS.
No, go in the car. In the car. It's all right. It's okay.
Cyrus!
It's okay.
Cyrus!
Poor woman.
I don't want anybody
I would be having a
to
heart
have to
attack.
endure this.
The Baby Cyrus case was the second most viral case in American history regarding CPS.
The media is not really covering this because this is, in fact, medical kidnapping.
They claim that baby Cyrus was underweight.
The kid has lost weight.
Take the baby away.
Get the baby out with CPS to the foster parents.
They were willing to release baby Cyrus to a foster family.
I won't let him go.
It offers financial incentives to the states that increase.
This lady was shot sometime in the last decade, this older lady that's talking, because she was the first person to speak up about the child trafficking using CPS. She was a senator from Georgia, from my home state, and she was shot in the last decade after she spoke up.
Adoption numbers.
There's billions of dollars to be had just from the federal government if you take the kids out.
They are profiting off of it.
There's nothing more evil, there's nothing more wicked than what I call child profiting systems.
Say it's the greatest fear.
You guys have to watch it. So, and if CPS ever comes to your house, if there's not a sheriff with them, if they don't have a warrant, they do not have any business asking you any questions. So you can tell them to walk away and be gone. So just an FYI. And they will make so you would be shocked at the laws on CPS and what gives them room to call things abuse. You should look it up. It's in your state. It is disgusting and terrifying. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in a children's rights class, okay, in 2022, having these freaking Rothschilds families and all this stuff, freaking owned universities, teaching all of these students at Harvard that the parents are the biggest enemy to the children because they have the most power over them. So now you trickle that down into social workers, plus the laws written so broadly. They can literally manipulate anything you say, anything, and make it look like abuse. So, I'm telling you, this is why I don't do social work. I would be an alcoholic if I was a social worker. Yeah. All right, next video. This is going to be, oh, good, CPS coaching kids.
Right?
Look, it's me.
Right.
Is everything we talked about today right stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hey, listen. It's important that you have safe grown-ups to talk to if someone ever hurts your body. Who are some safe grown-ups you can talk to?
Mommy.
Mommy. Who else can you talk to?
Mommy.
What about your teacher? How come?
Right there, they could make an issue out of that. Oh, why aren't you allowed to tell your teacher? Maybe she just understands mommy said don't talk to strangers.
I don't get it. How come you can't talk to your teacher?
I don't know.
T-Bone.
You don't know? Huh?
Yes, the education system is part of it. This is what the school preyed on my oldest child. We are in the middle of investigations with them. They better fucking do it right, because I am not the one to play with over my kid.
Hey, Journey.
Huh?
Hey, you know how you said, Mommy hit your butt? Or hit that part?
I don't know.
Okay.
So the child says, I don't know. Because she probably hasn't gotten... She probably doesn't understand her if you've been listening to it. She's not given a straight answer on if she's gotten hit in the butt. The kid's not answering the question logically.
Spin around.
Journey. Journey, stop where you get this. Come have a seat. Come have a seat. Hey, when's the last time Mommy gave you a whooping?
I don't know.
Did she give you a whooping today?
I don't know.
Hey?
Did she give you one today?
Around and around.
Okay, alrighty.
She goes, I'm going to spin around and around and around and around. The kid's not even like concerned about it. If the kid was getting beat, he'd be talking about it.
Okay.
She'd be talking about it.
Listen, Journey. I'm thinking, okay?
Huh?
I'm just thinking.
What
What happened when you went to cook?
I told no.
Okay.
She said, I told you. She's getting mad at the lady. She's like, I told you. This is so infuriating. Oh my God. And this is what makes me want to be a social worker because I don't want this to happen to any kid.
Alrighty. Come on, let's go.
But I can go play?
In a second. Today's August 27, 2019. It's 1:40 in the afternoon. We're at my office at 1320 West Room, Arlington, Texas. Thank you for talking with me. Are they right?
Oh, so she was pressing that kid, and that kid was just done with it. That is, if I was an attorney, this woman is trying very hard to get her child back. This is justice for there's the fuller interview on her page. The page is where did it go? The page is Justice for Journey Baucum or Baucum, JOURNIBAUCUM. So that's the page. So the mom's been trying to fight, and this happened in a former county that we lived in. This is kind of crazy, you know. It makes me really upset that this happens. All right. Next video. I was created by a government program.
I was created by...
Oh shit, this is old.
A government program.
Which government program?
Mother.
This was one of the videos circling around early on the internet. I remember this. Wow.
And what is Monarch?
Monarch is an operation that was created by the United States government to create spies for other countries. They use children for the purpose that they are easily integrated into multiple personalities because they can dissociate. The program was to, as a young man, get adults who were powerful political leaders into positions where they could be compromised.
His name is Paul Bonacci, a survivor of the top secret government mind control program, Project Monarch. So he was questioned under oath. So this is probably his deposition in 1990 by the Nebraska Attorney General during the Franklin investigation. So he basically is describing a pipeline, a government pipeline for running children. Now, interestingly enough, going back to Erika Kirk, Fort Huachuca has come up in this investigation because that's where apparently evidence is leaning that she may have been allegedly there in the days leading up to Charlie Kirk's death. Well, her mother worked at Fort Huachuca. Her mother was in the intel agency. There was a soldier there who had gotten mistreated by the U.S. government because he discovered a pipeline he wasn't supposed to discover. Drugs were coming through it. But they made a huge deal about silencing this man. They totally tried to erase this man. And he was at this and I actually understand about Fort Huachuca because when I was going to go into the military, that was where I was going to end up after basic training. So it's an intel base. So you have on there a lot of highly guarded buildings, but he went to go speak to someone high up about his case because of what the government's been doing to him, and sees Erika Kirk coming out with a meeting of like 11 or 12 high-ranking officers, and she had him on her show. This guy got barraged by the media trying to say he was crazy, and he's not changed his story for months. And apparently he's been questioned, investigated, and yeah, so there's actual real legitimate things she's discovering that, you know, is needing to be looked at for real, and I think is getting looked at because the government is getting caught in something, unfortunately. You know, it's clear Erika was acting. But anyway, let's hear about this. Somehow Erika's company wound up tied to the Epstein files, her realtor company.
That was your mission?
That was the initial mission. The whole mission was for me to go into the military service and become an officer.
Oh, Jack, yeah, born
and a few years after that, retire from the service. Not retire after 20 years, but after 6 years. And move to Germany. And then their initial plan to take over or to run the government was to put me in an ambassador spot. And then later to come back to the United States and to run for an office. And they would be the ones who controlled everything that I did.
So you would be an operative, so to speak?
I would be a puppet.
And you say this plan broke down in 1986, but yet you told me that you still felt that you were under the control.
I am still under their control because I do not answer phones anymore because that's how they get the others to the triggers, is what I'll call them. They're not personalities, they contain no memories at all. They were put in as hypnotic suggestions and only come out when, as I said, a code is presented to them. And that happened several times in 1989, which is why Paul and Mikey's memories are so confused. At that time, they were attempting to destroy me because they were attempting to access suicidal personalities and other personalities that would get me in trouble with law enforcement. When they program the personalities or the triggers,
I think they make Disney kids like this too,
as I call them. They would call me up and they would use a code. I would simply switch into that trigger, go to where they told me to go, whether it would be or get on an airplane because they would already have the tickets there. They would have the tickets there under a name that only that trigger would know, and go to wherever it was. There would be somebody waiting for them in that city and take them to wherever it was that they were supposed to go, bring them back to the airport, put them on the plane. They would come back home, and as soon as they walked in the door, the memory of everything that had just happened would be erased completely.
Yeah, I remember that. So that's Paul Bonacci, Bonacci. That's a fascinating one to look up. Let me write that down real quick. I want to refresh my memory on that one. That's an oldie but a goodie. Wow, that's resurfacing. It's kind of amazing. All right. Why the elites want us to use AI. Coming right up. Fresh and steamy.
This is the real dark reason why the elite wants you to keep using AI. Check this out.
Alright. The jig is up. Delete ChatGPT, delete Sora, delete any AI apps you have on your phone. Stop your support now. You need to understand something. Pandora's box is 99% of the way open.
Yep.
Yeah.
No going
and I'm
back.
not sure if you're familiar with the myth, but once it opens, it cannot close. Oh my god, it's so funny. Jake Paul doing game makeup tutorials.
Cancel AI immediately.
They are, yeah. They have been.
People are making child pornography.
There needs to be laws, passed ASAP.
That is nigh indistinguishable from reality.
Yeah. When I was running for office back in 2022, man, they threatened me with that. Man, they tried to destroy my life, my own party, because I was the only Patriot candidate. And so it was an open primary. So Democrats and conservatives were voting for me. Oh, I scared them. But they told me, yeah, they would fake me. Oh my God. It was terrible. They followed me for 13 hours. They just exploited every available piece of information on my personal life, tormented us. They fucking emailed me probably 2,000 times. Some of them looked cocaine fueled, others looked dark and sinister. It was a wild ride. It's a wild ride. Fucked with our bank accounts, tried to steal our house. Yeah, it was a lot. They go for the jug. Dirty. All right. 3 years later. Ah, shit. Oh, Ryan. You got to come. Where we at? Okay, we did that one. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Where are you at? Hold on, y'all. I have to send out an SOS. Arg. Y'all, I'm about to lose my ever loving shit. Do. All right, so we went to there, to.
That little girl looked like my daughter.
Okay, that's not that one. It's all out of order. Where is production? Yo, I am about to blow my top. I'm about to be on camera, turning into the dragon. The dragon mom. She's on the loose. She's breathing fire. Oh my goodness. All right. I dig a pound on the wall. I was like, I'm sending smoke signals here, folks. This got slipped off it slipped off the mat and I clicked out of it. So I cannot figure out where it doesn't look in the order of this. So I don't know where to. This is what I left off on.
Which one?
3 years later.
CPS.
I don't think. No, hold on. No.
That little girl looked like my daughter.
Hold on. That was way down here. In there. Yeah.
There is no way this is going.
That little girl looked like my daughter at home. He said, I almost unholstered my weapon and shot him right there.
Down here. So this and this. I don't know where those are.
Doing the right thing.
Huh?
Are you doing the right thing?
I don't know. I had to quickly find this. I've been calling you forever.
Let's see here.
Oh, we are still loading. That's the one that we left off. No, the next one. I left off on that one.
This is the real dark reason why the elite wants you to keep using AI. Check this out.
All right. Crisis averted. Thank you, John Anderson. You're very nice. And Robert, welcome to my show. We're now back on track. All right, the next video. It wasn't an accident. Says my friend's ex shows up at her house in the middle of the night after 3 years. Part 1. My friend's ex shows up at her house in the middle of the night after 3 years. Oh, jeez. If you're a dad, this would be triggering.
Dude, seriously, what the fuck?
Can we talk?
About what?
For real, though.
Alright, I made the attempt.
At what?
Legally, I made the attempt. Never mind.
Talking to me about what?
Legally, I made the attempt.
What? Is it that serious?
Dude,
Is it that serious? It's been years. It's been years.
I know.
Are you that pissed off still?
How is he going to act like she's the problem?
What?
Do you see that manipulation?
Yeah,
oh, really?
boy.
You're going to be mad at me? You're going to be mad at me and I'm the one who rings your doorbell?
What? That is why she left your damn ass, because you're literally asking her. It's called moving on, motherfucker. Oh my God. Ooh, no. Ooh. Yeah, that guy's gonna hurt her. That continues into stalking, into acts of aggression when they cannot control you, when they lose access to you. This is not good. This is very dangerous.
Well, after 3 years at weird hours of the night?
Oh, no.
Sounds like you're the problem. No, don't even talk to me. I'm the good guy.
I get punchy. Don't even think about it with me. I'll come out of there and beat your damn ass. You ain't never gonna want to come back.
I hear.
Are you that fucking pissed off at me still?
No way.
What is there to talk about?
Are you that mad at me still?
Dude, I'm trying to fucking sleep.
I understand. Are you that mad at me still?
So what have we said in the past about manipulative narcissistic guys that repeat the same thing over and over? They're not listening to you. At that point, they've tuned you out.
Yes.
They just want to win.
Right.
That is his one card that he's trying to pull. He's probably going to turn it into something and say, you have no right to be mad at me after everything I've done, and just drag you deeper into the mess. He's not trying to be reasonable. He's just trying to make you feel guilty or look bad so that he can try to have the upper hand, even after all these years. It's all a tactic. It's not real.
That poor girl. Nope, that's why I got big dogs. Because if something happens to one of us, dogs are going to get you. You got problems all over the place if you're trying to do something crazy in my house. No. All right. But meanwhile, this is what's happening to black children. I hope I'm not triggered.
Oh God. I'm just disappointed. Not even just in Kevin, but the fact that no one else is talking about this video. Because what just transpired is one of the most horrific things that I've ever seen. And the sad thing is that it came out of nowhere. When was the first time that you've ever seen Kevin Hart? Most likely it was during his stand-up. And if you're that rare few, you actually got to see him perform in comedy clubs. But nonetheless, Kevin Hart is one of the biggest, and I mean biggest, comedians in the world. And his ticket sales reflect that perfectly. However, we see Kevin Hart get bestowed
No, I am not from California.
Opportunity after opportunity. New special, new movie, or even commercials. However, on occasions, we actually get to see him go on shows. So when he went on Kelly Clarkson, there was a particular moment that popped up that shocked everyone. It's because when the topics were being discussed, he tried to silence her in hopes that she wouldn't expose an entire industry.
18 and 19, it was hard. You know, I was like, that's not worth it. What are you going to do to me? I don't know if you've had this, but I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And you've been off. Yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want. Oh God.
Yeah, he's been caught a few times in this situation. It ain't no secret now. God, man, all y'all are so like, the more power you get or the more fame you get, the worse things apparently you had to do, according to these Epstein files. My word. Good Lordy, man, the scriptures then turned out to be right. The fucking shit in Revelation. In the book of Revelation. The shit is right, y'all. Y'all gonna love my subscriber episode for Sunday. And I'm talking about the image of Daniel. It's a little sneak peek in there about that. It won't be an in-depth one, but we're talking about Persia and the Medo-Persian Empire on Sunday. You gotta subscribe though. All right. 0 kilometers. What is this?
Meanwhile, this is what's happening to black children in our neighborhoods.
Oh, it's out.
Hey, so
it is out of order. So this is what the last one was supposed to be. What's happening to black kids right now?
All right, so apparently my video yet going viral again, saying that ICE is detaining kids. So they're using that picture, which is my video, of me and my son playing cops and robbers. Literally, this is us. It's just crazy. Like the link, people will push shit in this line on the internet, and I'm just lost for fucking words. But if y'all don't know, me, myself, and my son, we live in Texas. We don't live in Chicago. Me and my son playing cops and robbers. Got a whole series on my page. I'm trying to figure out why people lying to make it political. Don't fucking know, but it's sick as hell, and y'all need to find Jesus.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is what's happening.
You gotta be real careful what you believe on TV. If it's on TV, if you can watch it on the TV, it's probably fake as fuck. A lot of shit on social media too, but shit. Have you seen how much Disney owns? All right, I think now is the 0 kilometers video.
That little girl looked like my daughter at home. He said, I almost unholstered my weapon and shot him right there.
It says, child Blankiker tried to sell me a 0 kilometer.
He said, but I knew if we did, we would have lost all those other kids. Now, for me, what happened, he says, this is Princess. She's 0 kilometer. We just took delivery of some. She's my gift for you for this party. He started talking about and I realized if we could get these kids out before they're ever hurt the first time, that would be a miracle. And something he said made me realize he had more than her. I said, Fuego, I said, you just took delivery. You have more 0 kilometer? He goes, oh yeah, I got 3 or 4 more. I said, you're going to bring those to my party too, right? He goes, oh no. He says, wait, those ones are too expensive. Too expensive. I'm already paying this guy $25,000. I'm paying him $500 per child for a minimum of 50 children just for 2 hours in the afternoon. I said, he said, Jefe, he said, you already paid $25,000. You want to those other it's going to cost you maybe $2,000, maybe $5,000 for that little one. It's going to cost you maybe $10,000 more. Now at this point, no acting involved. I'm legitimately pissed. He's talking about these kids like they're commodities, and he's playing with my ego. It's going to cost you extra $10,000 more. I'm Paul fucking Hutchinson, right? I put my hands on my chest and I'm like, you don't think I can afford an extra $10,000? He's like, oh no, Jefe, no. I said, I want every one of those newer models, as you call them at the party, every one of them. I said, nobody's allowed to touch them until then. If anybody touches them, the entire deal's off. They're for me, not for you. You understand? He goes like, oh yeah, I understand. This stupid smile on his face. That little girl looked like my daughter at home.
So this is
he said,
guy
I almost
that like busts them and goes undercover. This is like the shit that should be talked about. Not protesting Somalians in Minnesota that are undocumented and have fake businesses and feeding their families off of our tax dollars unbeknownst to us. This is the shit. I saw a neutral forensic documentation of one of the girls that name is finally starting to make the rounds. I can't remember her name because I just found it, and in relation to in a short time ago, maybe a month ago, and I just saw some influencer mention her name. No, I think it was somebody on TV. Yes, it was during the debate over the SAVE Act. I guess she was from his state up in New Hampshire or something, but she was an autistic girl that was with her fiance, and she got murdered over by another illegal who was in this trailer renting another room in the same trailer. So there was like 4 rooms being rented out, and so her and her fiance shared one room, and he went to work, and the kid came in and stabbed her to death or choked her and took her wallet and went to Target and bought some earrings. And it was just like, what they're talking about all the wrong stuff. They're not telling the truth about what's really going on to save these kids. Biden lost hundreds of thousands of children. Lost them. There were 65,000 unanswered calls from these kids that went to voicemail because no one was answering the hotline they established for these kids. It's just baffling. It's baffling. They didn't care. And I guarantee you all these kids just went missing. I don't even want to know with these Epstein files coming out. I don't even want to know. But that's who this guy is. They deserve for the entire world to see the consequences, all of them. This is all of us against 13 families. Like, we've all got to like wake up together. All right, where is his tattoo? Next video. All right, everyone's saying that other picture is fake, that it's AI of him spotted in Tel Aviv, because they've been saying, where's his tattoo? So here's a picture of him with his tattoo. To compare. No tattoo there in the fake body that the Epstein files or the DOJ files about Epstein have revealed, that they admitted that they faked rolling his body out for the journalists of the prison, that was a body double. So that's out now. So makes you wonder. I like the devil they had laughing in the background. All right, how many more? See, this is what it does. Barely click it.
How many more of our children will be stabbed in this country by these sickos?
Okay, so this is a 35-year-old trans-identified man named Alice Michael Joseph Atwood in Alberta, Canada, who was charged after severing the esophagus of his 8-year-old daughter and stabbing his son. The girl is in the hospital and requires a feeding tube. He was released the next day and posted this message on social media. This is in a liberal-run city that is soft on crime and has woke policies, Because as you know, they have continued to release criminals like the man who stabbed the girl in the railway. They released him, and he had been released many times before. So they continue to allow criminals to target our families and children.
To do a check-in, let people know that I am being safe and being
Canada.
secure.
They released him!
I'm taking care of my needs, and I am just
deplorable.
chilling
I'm so fed
until I
up with this
actually go for
country.
my sentencing. And I did kind of realize that we do have a highly unique opportunity here, where
I would love to interview that guy. Oh my gosh. Ooh-wee. This guy wouldn't say no to an interview. What's his name? Alice Michael Joseph Atwood. What a name. It's almost as bad as mine. All right.
as I'm someone who did something heinous, and I'm on social media, whereas pretty much all the other people who do something heinous get locked in a box.
He should be locked in a box!
From society, and they don't get to talk to them.
And we put him back out! 1 day bail! His daughter has a freaking tube in her throat!
I'm already at risk.
What?
This is who we're releasing onto
This guy is off his rocker. This man has been failed by his parents deeply. Deeply. He has been through some shit. He is completely disassociative. I can tell you that. Don't know why, but I can tell you he's disassociative big time. This is like the Joker. Let's watch that again with that context.
So whatever, I guess. Yeah, sure, it does. But also, I know that I'm going to do everything in my part.
He also seems autistic, but I mean, this is just me guessing. He's not in front of me. I'm just going with what hits me.
Do not hurt anyone else in society. For sure. Like,
liberals, answer for this.
That was
yes.
a horrible,
it's a mind virus.
horrible error and a bad decision that I made. And I shouldn't have ever done it. I never.
Psychopathy has made an increase too lately. Oof.
Never will do it again. And if I could rewrite history and make it so I didn't do it, I would. But that's not going to happen. So I definitely.
This is somebody who has been treated like a child for so long and placated to every single whim. And also I just feel something darker in his past probably as well happened to this guy.
You have to answer for it.
You don't do something like that heinous. You can see the pain in his eyes. He has a very failed environment. And that liberal woke mind virus is a big part of it because we didn't have enough people saying, no, stop it. This is insanity. This is madness. We are not going to placate your delusions. You can have them. I understand you are in pain right now for one reason or another, and we need to get that dealt with. But I'm not going to take part in the delusion. And you have to respect that. Hang on, guys. My dog is barking at the husband. The husband is changing a tire for me. This is horrifying.
And we just have to, I guess, deal with it. So what do you think?
What the hell is going wrong in this country? Liberals, you're the government in power. Explain yourselves.
Right.
Why are psychopaths like this, who stab their own children in the neck. His daughter is in the hospital with a feeding tube, out on bail after 1 day. We have lost our minds in this country. I'm sorry, I'm upset. I am yelling more than I typically yell. Because I am so fed up. How many of our children need to die? How many of our children need to be stabbed before this country stops prioritizing these psychopaths, these criminals? These people should be put in jail. What are we doing? If I did something like this, I would expect to be tossed under a freaking rock, thrown in jail for an eternity. But these people get out the next day.
Because I need my gender affirming medication. And I'm a bitch beta boy and I wouldn't survive it in prison because I know I'm going to get the shit stomped out of me for what I did. Whew. Yeah, he's dealing with a storm. When you don't address the real issue, when you're down to mutilation, there's something really going on in terms of self-love. And you really need to learn it quick. And the answer there is spiritual when it's that dark. And for those that truly do have it, it's still just as dark of a life because they know it's a disorder and they can't escape it. And someone who's truly transgender gets mad when you call them trans. They don't like that. They still think male, female. They're still binary. And they'll be at ages like too young to comprehend gender. And they'll like think you're crazy for calling them the gender that they are at a very, very early age. And so there's like lots of other cues, but a lot of these people have a lot of trauma in their life and really have to get that dealt with. And I think that's all been by design, as mentally incapacitate, a country who believes they have a spirit of independence. How are you going to control a huge population like ours? You want to end up like China? China is like the most technically advanced communistic state. I've never seen so many people just part of a Borg. They're all face down in a phone, packed in, walking, like no interaction. They're just on the phone. Everything's on the phone. And it's just the weirdest thing to see in China, just saying. But it's sad. They have them complacent. They're like zoo animals that are being taken care of in a certain way that is providing for the demands of that many people, but freedom is not a thing there. You have to implant seeds in these people's minds. You have to make this, you have to hit them while they're young in school to change a generation, And it's really sad because there weren't enough parents to just be like, no, I am not doing this. I'm not going to freaking pretend and this is okay. I recognize something is wrong. Trust me over the school. Trust me to help you. I'm your parent. I begged my kid to trust me and let me love her and help her through things. And she just, was taught by the world around her. She couldn't trust me. And, I wasn't an angel mom. I have trauma all through my life. But certain ways of thinking develop when there's the right combination of things, and we all have to sometimes just sit back and kind of not try to control the situation. If the ship's gonna sink, it's gonna sink. Now we focus on saving our lives, so you gotta kind of sit back. If it doesn't sink, great. If it does, well, now we move forward, but you try your best. Tell them the truth always. And let them know that they always have a place to come back home. But you can't be a piece of shit, Like, we have to draw the line somewhere. You can't just have your tantrums. You can't just, you never accept me when, like, we support everything you love and believe in your hobbies and that. When we draw the line of, like, hey, let's not do this, that's not supporting you. It's gotten out of control. So now you have timid parents who, especially in the white culture, I'm sorry, but y'all gotta toughen the hell up. For real. So it's white guilt. It's plaguing, this trans thing is plaguing the white community. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm half black. Well, it's like Blasian, half of me, Caribbean, West Indian, and the other half of me is white. So I've seen it all, from the Asian side, from the black side, from the white side. And I've seen everything you could possibly talk about. And it's like, we need men back in our communities who aren't afraid to stand up for what's right when they see it as a community. If you're at the grocery store, you got to make a man stand up and be a man or protect a woman and child. Just do it. We need like men to not feel ashamed to be men anymore. So there's that. All right. So she needs your help.
I'm a U.S. veteran. She's an Air Force veteran of 5 years. She's laying here with heart failure, fighting for her life, giving everything she got. She's been approved, accepted at Stanford Hospital for transfer. Transfer from this hospital, Sunrise Medical Center here in Las Vegas, to be transferred to Stanford Medical Center. The VA is saying that she's not worthy enough to be transported. A transport team, a private transport team, said they'll transport her for $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 that has to be paid immediately. I hope y'all blow up whatever social media you got, make the contact to the right people.
So bad.
Get her life saved. She fought for this country. She's been in the military. She served this country, and the last thing they can do is serve her and give her a second chance on life. She's been.
No, he's kind of like Denzel-esque.
Fighting for 5 days to stay alive. And with this great team here at Sunrise Medical Center to save her life, they've been doing all they can do, but they do not have the capacity to keep her alive. Save my daughter's life. Let this make national media. Send it to every media outlet you can send it to. Thank you very much. I'm a U.S. veteran.
Wow. So they won't transport her because they won't pay the $90,000 it costs up front. The VA. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. This makes me mad. The Iraq War tore holes into my life. Really ruined a really happy time for me and my ex. That's all I gotta say about that. This is so triggering. All right, last video. What's up with Guthrie?
Savannah's husband, Michael Feldman, who was actively involved with the Democratic Party for many years, served as a Democratic political aide during the Clinton-Gore administration, holding senior roles, and was traveling chief of staff for Vice President Gore. He also worked on Bill Clinton's 1992 presidential campaign. And this is where it starts to get interesting. He opened the firm, the Glover Park Group. And this firm is named in the Epstein files as a suggested contact, specifically an email in 2015. The email involved Larry Summers suggesting to Epstein that he should speak to someone at the Glover Park Group, and that it had helped Bill Clinton and General Petraeus out. The Glover Park website was removed just days after the release of the Epstein files, as Savannah's mother went missing. Feldman also founded GS Global, a major international communications company. Some say a scrubber or fixer company.
Okay, I know that they have those for sure, because when I was running for Congress, when DC was trying to get their dirty paws all over my campaign, one of their attorneys offered to do this for me. I almost got in bed with the devil, y'all. That was a terrifying time, for sure. Taught me a lot. I don't regret it.
Also works closely with Greg Rothschild. Go back to January 2016, and remember who Epstein says he represents? The Rothschilds. Now, some people don't believe in coincidence, especially when there's so many of them. Remember when Savannah's mother went missing? At the same time, the 3 million files were released. Savannah appears in the files, as does her husband, Michael Feldman, who worked for the Clintons, who are about to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee.
Yeah.
But Nancy Guthrie's disappearance could have nothing to do with her daughter, her son-in-law, or the Epstein files. I suppose we'll have to wait and find out.
They said, okay, fine, we'll release the files and let you guys just figure it out. Well, we're doing that because we wanted it. That's right. That is right. All right. Well, we are at the end of the show, and that means I'm going to pick a fan of the day. And with fan of the day, you get my autographed show notes and a lipstick kiss sent to me. You have to reach out to producer Ryan, Ryan.Lopez86 on Instagram, and he will mail it out to you. So the fan of the day is going to be Patriot SEAL Team 1. You intrigued my attention during the show with the things you were talking about. So it goes to you, Patriot SEAL Team 1. You will get an autographed copy of my show notes, complete with a kiss. All right. Well, it was a pleasure being with all of you tonight. Thank you so much, Mac. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you in the chat as always. Alrighty. I'll see you guys later. With that, I bid you adieu.